Hello, my old school soul food family. Chef Jeffrey back with another video. Hey, y'all, look what I got here. Let me show y'all. Give y'all a close up. Look at that. Ain't that some pretty? Hold on just a second, y'all. I got to get another little bit better light in there. Hold on just a second. Okay, y'all, I'm back now. You know, when you're doing a video, it's just like, sometimes I forget I'm doing a video. When I do a video, I have different lighting than if I'm normally cooking in the kitchen. If I'm just normally coming in the kitchen to cook, certain lights I use and don't use. So that's what happens. So let me show y'all here. Look at this. Look at them beautiful blackberry muffins. Blackberry, take two. Blackberries. Nice, juicy, and plump. And I got these, and I was wondering, what should I do with these? Look at the size of this. Look at the size of this blackberry. Look at that. And I have a big hand, but look at the size of that blackberry. I decided, what am I going to make? Blackberry cobbler? It's kind of old. So I'm going to make some old school blackberry dumplings on top of the stove. I did this before. It's two ways to do it. Two ways my mama used to do it. She used to do the drop dumplings, and she used to do the cut dumplings. I did a video on the drop dumplings, but today I'm going to do it where I roll out the dough, the dumpling dough, and I'm going to cut them out. It's just like doing a biscuit dough. Only thing different, it has regular milk in it. You can use water. I use regular milk, and I'm using sugar in it, and no baking powder. Of course, I don't use baking powder in my regular savory dumplings, but yeah, that's the only difference. I'm gonna put a little cinnamon nutmeg in it, so that's the only difference. So anyway, first things first, I'm gonna get started on my base here, y'all. Or should I do my dumplings first? I think I'll get my base started here first, and then we'll do our dumplings. We'll get our base going, and then we'll start on our dumplings. The base is very simple. I'm going to put a little bit of half of these in there. I'm going to save a few, because what's going to happen as this cooks, I'm going to set these to the side. As these blackberries cook, they're going to smush up, and I want some kind of texture in my dumplings. So I'm going to take a few out. I do that with my cobblers too. Now y'all know I use pineapple juice. People ask, does it taste like pineapple juice after it's cooked? No. And why do I use pineapple juice? Don't use another kind of juice. Pineapple juice is neutral in taste. When you cook it with something, it's something I found out over the years of cooking. As you cook with fruit with it, it intensifies the flavor of the fruit without intensifying the flavor of the pineapple. And people, after they use it, they are amazed what I tell them is true. I always use pineapple juice in any fruit I do. If you don't have pineapple juice, you can use apple juice, use orange juice. I would not suggest, because orange juice would intensify in flavor. You know, it tastes more like orange. So I'm going to put a couple of cups of sugar in here, and I'm going to taste this afterward. I might need more sugar. And another thing, people ask, what's the recipe? Why you don't post the recipe? Why you don't say the recipe when he's cooking? The recipe is in the description of the video. And I don't tell ingredients a lot of times as I'm cooking, because I'm just cooking alone. It's like y'all here in the kitchen with me. And I don't tell the measurements as I go, but I put every ingredient in the description of the video. So that's that. So anyway, I write every recipe down. So I got butter in here, and sugar, and butter, sugar, and what else? Pineapple juice. Put a little cinnamon in here. Shortening in there. Nutmeg. Of course, not as much nutmeg as cinnamon. And that's pretty much it, y'all. We're going to let this come to a complete boil. But I'm not going to thicken this, y'all, until it's going to be a little different. I'm going to let this come to a complete boil. I'm going to make sure everything is good and tastes good. And then I'm going to thicken it up with cornstarch. But in the meantime, I'm going to move all this stuff away here. And I'm going to come back. And as that's cooking, I'm going to get these dumplings started. So we'll be, and I'm not going to put the vanilla in, y'all, until the end. That's another thing. The vanilla, try not to put your vanilla extracts and things in your cooking until right at the end, because it'll cook the flavor out, and you won't taste the vanilla flavor if you cook it, put it in before everything is hot and cooked, and you add the vanilla right at the end. That's another little tip. So anyway, I'll be right back, y'all. We're going to get these dumpling mix started. It's just so simple. Only thing I hate is messes up my can. Y'all know I'm not a messy cook. And there's no way you can mess with dough and flour without flour going places you don't want it to go. It's the only thing I hate about making dumplings on the counter. But anyway, we'll be right back. Okay, y'all, we are back here. Okay, let's get the dumplings made here. It's going to be very simple, y'all. I ain't going to make too many put in here. I'm not going to overdo it. But I'm going to try to hide this. But like I said, I'm going to put the recipe in the description of the video. Okay, I'm going to put a little salt in here. Just a little salt, like a half a teaspoon. Okay. Next, a little cinnamon. I'm gonna put a little cinnamon nutmeg in the dumplings also. A nutmeg, a little cinnamon in here. There we go. A little sugar. I have sweet dumpling, right? Now you don't have to, if you're on the diabetic thingy, you don't have to put a lot of, you don't have to put no sugar in it. Even though they gonna, this dumpling's gonna soak up the sweetness of the juice. But I like to put a little sugar in mine too. Okay, got cinnamon, nutmeg, salt, pepper, sugar in there. Now, next I'm gonna put my shortening in here, and we're gonna cut it in there with my hand. And this is a butter flavor shortening, which is awesome, y'all. Especially for something like this, and you can use it in your biscuits too. You can also use butter. I like this because it's easy to cut in. It's easy to cut into the flour. Okay. It's a messy job, y'all, but somebody has to do it, right? Okay. Let me get my gloves on. The reason I'm using gloves so it's less messy for my hands. I don't have to wash my hands as much when I'm through messing with this. Okay. First thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use my hands here to cut my butter into my flour. If you got a biscuit cutter, you can use, dough, you know, the dough cutter. I never use them things. You can use a fork if you want to. I always use them wont in my hands, y'all. That's the way my mama used to do it. We never had one of them tools. I never had one either. I don't even know how to work them things. So I just do it like this. So you get that cornmeal-y thing. Just like you're making a pie dough, kind of. Okay, got all that mixed up. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to add my milk to this. Just going to add just enough milk, y'all, to bring this dough together. There's no baking powder in this, remember y'all, no baking powder. You do not want these biscuits, this dough, biscuit dough, I call it biscuit dough, to go all over the place in your pan, in your dumplings when you drop them or cut them. I ain't gonna drop these. I'm gonna cut these up. That's it. That's the consistency you want right there. Now, let me get my flour here again. What I do with it, here it is right here. I'm gonna put a little flour on the counter. A little flour there on the counter there. That's the part I hate, y'all. I hate messing up my crew say that's part of cooking. I know it's part of cooking. I just hate it. Okay. Now, what I'm gonna do, flip this over. Now, put a little bit on top. And I'm gonna roll this, y'all, really, really thin. Really thin. See how pretty and soft that dough is? Really soft dough, y'all. Really be soft, though. That's it. We're gonna make a lot of dumplings. You don't want them too thick. You get them too thick, it's gonna take them forever to cook. And they're gonna be doughy. And that's it. Now, take my gloves off, and then we're gonna cut them off. Let me get a pan here. I'm not organized today. I'm usually more organized than this, y'all, but I've been, you know, helping my neighbors all weekend, and I didn't tend to do this today, and I decided, well, I'll just do a quick video today. Okay, I'm gonna put some flour on this, y'all, because this gonna set on the pan a little bit before I'm using it. So I'm gonna put a little flour, and I got a little piece of cutter. One thing I'm gonna do, y'all, piece of cutter here. Just go just like you're making regular chicken and dumplings, y'all. But the only thing, the dough is gonna be a little bit different. It has cinnamon in it and nutmeg in it and sugar. See that? And y'all, you can make these big or as small as you like. It's all up to you. All up to you. That's it. All I'm gonna do, y'all, I'm gonna take them, put them on the pan here. Like I said, I got flour on here so it don't stick. It's gonna be sitting on the pan here for a minute until I get through doing what I want to do with these filling, not filling, but the cobbler base. And that's it, y'all. I'm gonna step off, finish this up, clean up this counter, this messy counter I got here, and we'll come back and finish this filling up. We're gonna drop these dumplings, and we're gonna have us some old school blackberry dumplings, y'all. So we will be right back. Okay, y'all, we are back here. Now, you see how this is boiling? That's what I want. That's what you want. You don't want to drop your dumplings unless this is boiling like this. It's very important so they can cook immediately as they go in. So now, what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna just slowly drop them in here. One at a time, y'all. You don't want to overcrowd it at one time. You don't want to stir them. That's another thing. And I'm going to show you how I stir mine. Show you in just a second here. Once I get a few in here. Like I said, you can do the drop method of your dumplings, but this is such an easier method. Now, like I say, when I stir my dumplings, just like my chicken and dumpling, I use the back of my spoon. If I use the top of my spoon, I tend to break them. This is a smoother side of the spoon, and I just go just like that. Very gently. Make sure they're not stuck together. Very gently. But right now, they're at a gentle stage, y'all. Just like a little baby. You gotta be very gentle until they grow up, and then you can be more rough with them. Okay. Like that. Like I said, I don't want to overcrowd them. Back of my spoon, just kind of, and I'm gonna kind of let that, let this come back up to a simmer again. You see how they holding together, not breaking apart. That's the key. Be very gentle with them at the beginning until they come, you know, firm up a little. See how pretty those are. This is gonna be a pretty pot. Another thing, you see, I didn't add the cornstarch until I get all these in here because this has flour on it. And you don't want to add your cornstarch and have it already thick and then add your dumplings because you don't know how thick the flour gonna make it. The flour might make it more thicker. So I like to add my cornstarch and thicken this after I add all my dumplings in there. That's another key. So we're gonna stir this around here. Got more in here. We're gonna add some more. I'm telling y'all, it's nothing like a big bowl of blackberry dumpling. This is better than blackberry cobbler because with blackberry cobbler, I like the little part of the dough that's been soaked in the juice. That's my favorite part of blackberry cobbler. And this is just like having a blackberry cobbler without the top crispy crust. Like I say, some people do not like blackberry dumplings, but this, my mama used to make these all the time. I think because it was easier and quicker. You really don't have to turn on the oven, heat up the house. You can do it all on top of the stove, y'all. All on top of the stove. So we're gonna let these simmer. I'm gonna finish putting other ones in here, and when they almost done, I'm gonna come back and show you how we're gonna thicken them. We're gonna thicken it up, add a vanilla. We still gotta add a vanilla to it right at the end. And I'm gonna add, still got these extra blackberries here. I'm gonna add right at the end. And we're gonna have us a big hot steaming bowl of blackberry dumplings. We'll be right back. Okay, y'all, I got it back all in now. Now I gotta simmer this about 15, 20 minutes, because this dough is doughy. It's not cooked. And see how I got them all in? Another thing, see how thick that's gotten a little from the flour? That's why I say I never add my flour in here until I never add my arrowroot, or I say arrowroot, cornstarch in here until I got all these in here. And then they cook down, and then I'll know how much cornstarch I need to add. Because you see that flour, excess flour that was on it, how I thickened that a little? That's why. That's why it's very important. Don't thicken them until after you add your dumplings. Now another thing I'm about to do, the other blackberries, once I come back, once they get all cooked down, about 15 minutes, you're going to simmer this. Don't boil them. Just want to come to a simmer. You don't want to boil them like roll and boil. Let them do its thing, or they going to cook. And see that? See how pretty those are? See how they have them fall apart? That's the key of doing in the back of the spoon, y'all. That's the key. Just kind of stir them back to the spoon. Don't just do no heavy stir. It don't take all that. It's a little gentle, like I say. Be very gentle with them, because right now they're at the gentle stage where they'll tear apart. Once they start cooking, they'll firm up more, and you can be a little bit more rough with them, like I was saying. So anyway, we'll be back here. Once we come back, we're gonna add the rest of these blackberries to that, and then we're gonna add a vanilla. We're gonna tighten them up, and they'll be ready. So we'll be right back. Okay, y'all, we back. Okay, see they coming to a simmer. Another thing, y'all, if I add some cornstarch, it's gonna be very little cornstarch I add to this, y'all. It ain't gonna be much. See how that's thickened? See how that's why I say do not add any cornstarch until these things are completely done. Because these things have a mind of its own. Depending on how much excess flour it is, how the flour come off, is the thickening. Okay, now I'm going to add the rest of these blackberries back to this. I wanted some blackberry base to it. That's why I add a few of that, because they're going to cook down some of the blackberries. That's why I always leave a few extra ones left over, so you can add it right at the end. Now we're going to add our vanilla. Like I say, add your vanilla right at the end, y'all, so you have the real taste of vanilla. It doesn't cook away. Oh man, this stuff smells amazing. And y'all, I don't think I'm going to have to add any cornstarch to this. Like I say, each pot has a mind of its own, depending on how many I put in there. And I'm going to let this cook about 5 more minutes, and then let me taste it here, y'all. I know this stuff is amazing. I don't think I'm about to add any more thickening to this. Let me taste this. Oh my God, y'all, this stuff is so good. So good. But these dumplings, they got another, I say another 6-7 minutes to cook, and then they'll be completely done. And let me see here. Let me check my consistency here. I think I'm gonna add just a little cornstarch, not much. A little cornstarch in this. It's gonna take maybe a teaspoon here. Once these things set up, I'm gonna add 1 teaspoon. And I'm gonna put on the recipe, y'all. It's not really how much cornstarch you add. So I hope people understand what I mean. In cooking, it's like that sometimes. It's not a science, and people always ask me, can I add this? Can I do this to it? Look, I'm giving you, I tell y'all, I'm giving you the canvas of what I'm cooking. You can add more sugar. You can add less sugar. A lot of people say, oh, you added too much sugar. If you can't have that much sugar, don't add it. Decrease it. If you don't want that much butter, decrease it. It's all up to you. I'm just doing it like I was taught to do it when my mom did it. Okay, I'm going to add a little cornstarch to this. Not much, y'all. Because I like the thickness just a little bit thicker. Oh, yeah. Look at that. That's what I want. I want a little body to it. And that'll do it. Sometimes I have to add a little more, but I see as it's simmering here, the flour is doing its thing. And sometimes it's what kind of flour you use too, how much gluten is in the flour that you use. Every flour is different. So anyway, y'all, I'm gonna let this simmer. It got to simmer about 5-6 more minutes, and we're gonna come back. We're gonna have a big bowl of these blackberry dumplings, y'all. We'll be right back. Okay, y'all, we are back here. Look at this here. Look at this. See, y'all get a close up. Look at those blackberry dumplings. That is hot, y'all. Let me move over to the pot here so y'all can see the pot. I dipped them up here. Let me show you the consistency. See the consistency of them? Beautiful. Beautiful pot of dumplings, y'all. Blackberry dumplings there. Can't go wrong with that. Can't go wrong with this. So anyway, we're going to try them out here. Let me move y'all back over here so you can try them out here. Okay, here. Like I say, this here is very hot right now. And look how tender the dumplings are. Then let me get a towel. This thing is hot. A towel right here on my shoulder. I gotta show y'all something here. Get a close up. Hold up here, cause this is the key. I just need to show y'all the key to the actual dumpling is the tenderness of the dough, and not doughy, and it's tender. That's the key. Is how I did the dough. See this? See how that thing just look. How tender that dough is. Very tender. Oh wow. This is my childhood here, y'all. This is my childhood. Right here. Me and my brother and my sister, we used to pick gallons of blackberry during blackberry season. You take a stick and you gotta watch out for the snakes, or these snakes in the vines eating blackberries too. They love them too. We come home with buckets of them. My mom will clean them. You know, to clean them, I got little leaves on them from the vines. Wash them really good. She make blackberry jelly, of course, but man, blackberry cobbler. My mama called it blackberry pie. That's what she say. She called it berry pie. She don't call it blackberry cobbler. She don't call it blackberry. She called it berry pie. My dad did too. Or what she called it. I'm telling y'all, this is my childhood. Another thing she did with me as I got older, she would make me some with no berries in it. Just the juice in the crust and juice in the dough. It's amazing. And people say, put ice cream. Let me tell you, I don't put ice cream on no cobbler, no pie, no cake, no nothing. Some people do. A lot of people do. I think it defeats the purpose of what you're eating. If you put ice cream on a cobbler, it just waters it down. You don't know what tastes what. You don't know if the ice cream is making it better, the cobbler's good. You don't have no taste. I just never was into that. If I'm eating something, I want to eat a cobbler, I want to eat a cobbler. I don't want ice cream melting away in it, watering it down. If I'm eating cake, I don't want no ice cream on my cake. I don't want no ice cream on no apple pie. I don't want that because it melts down and just ruins the whole eating experience for me. This is my opinion. Everybody's different, and I respect everybody the way they eat. Because I eat stuff other people don't eat. People eat, I don't eat. So yeah, I respect everybody's food preferences. I just do. I just tell you what I don't like. But anyway, I just hope y'all enjoyed this video. I visited with my neighbor this weekend. Had a neighbor in this neighborhood that, you know, a husband lost his job and they have 4 young kids, and just heart-wrenching. I just organized a little thing to people to just show up at their house and bring food and you know, little novelties and stuff that they need for the house and stuff like that. Because, like I tell people, check on your neighbors. People going through stuff, might be living right next door to you. They're just not humble enough to tell you, and they too proud, which I understand. They don't want people to know their business, but check on your neighbors and see how they're doing and ask them, and you can tell on the person's face if they're doing good or not. And I just have somebody just give me a tip, and I say, look, I organize it in one, matter of fact, in 8 hours, I organize it. So, yeah, I just love helping my neighbor. Like I tell people, I say this over and over again, God has blessed me tremendously and keep blessing me. And I always say, if God bless me, I'm gonna bless others too. And people look at me and they say, oh, you got this and this. I'll say it again. You see my glory, but you don't know my story. The struggles I've been to get to a certain level. I've been there. I know it. That's why I help other people, because I've been there where you are, and I could easily get back to where you are. Because everybody is a serious sickness away from being broke and homeless. Anything can knock you down off your feet. That's why you have to be humble and help others while you're up, because God is looking at you, and that's the way it is. So anyway, let me close this video out. If you like this video, please share, please comment, please subscribe. Please visit my little social media accounts: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch TV, Pinterest, and oldschoolsoulfood.com. And remember the hashtag, don't only talk the talk, please walk the walk. Help somebody. Help anybody, somebody, Old School Soul Food. Help somebody, Old School Soul Food. Until next time, have a blessed Old School Soul Food day, and I will see y'all in the next video. Y'all have a blessed week. Love y'all. Bye.